Right, so I would like to talk about underwater rivers.
Ooh.
Have you ever seen a picture of an underwater river?
No.
All right, so basically what it is when heavy salt water forms normal rivers underneath lighter, fresh or less salty water. So there's a point in the water called the thermocline, I believe it is, if I remember correctly, back to my diving days, and basically it's where two salinities of water split. So you have heavy water below and lighter water above, and you can get it can be split because of salinity, it can be split because of temperature. So when you swim through the thermocline, you might notice this if you're in the sea or in a lake or something like that, your feet might be significantly colder.
Oh yeah.
Than your
Definitely.
body.
The sun like heats the top or whatever.
Exactly. Or it'll be like a different sort of passage of water coming in, and there'll be and so like when you're diving, you can really feel this. It's why often you need heavier wetsuits if you're going for a deep dive. So you're going down to 30 meters. You'll go through the thermocline and you'll spend time in significantly colder water, maybe 3-4 degrees, which in water terms is a lot. And then you come back up and you feel like you're in tropical temperatures, even if it's not. So basically, all right, hang on. If we zoom in here, let's. All right. So this is in Yucatan, Mexico, which is a diving paradise, by the way. So they've got all the caves there and all that. And basically, we've got a little diagram of how this forms.
Okay.
So you can see we've got fresh water. It is fresh water in this case, and then there's salt water, which is fed in underneath the fresh water. It's heavier in salinity, so it drops.
It's near the sea then?
I believe.
And where's the salt water coming from?
Oh, hang on. Here we go. We've got to go to the notes. From land, Angelita looks like any other ordinary swimming hole. It's not until you dive almost 100 feet to the underwater river that becomes exposed. It's
pretty deep,
exposed.
Right?
That is quite deep. 100 feet is what, 30 meters?
No, I was thinking about 100 meters.
No, 100 meters.
100 meters is
that's
really
deep. No, here you go. It's groundwater, salty groundwater. So the underwater river is formed when the fresh top water meets the exposed salty groundwater.
Yeah.
So it's 30 meters deep, and basically due to the salinity, the water is heavier, so it stays below it.
Makes sense.
And it looks exactly like a river.
What?
Yeah.
This is so much better than I expected.
Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, don't worry. I don't bring crap to this podcast.
No,
this
that's
is
incredible.
Only quality. Hang on.
Sorry, I got to describe that. So we are looking out. It's as if you're looking, and it's not like a random column of water that you can't see. It's like it looks as if we are looking at a normal river running through a jungle, except there is a person scuba diving in the air above the river.
This is it.
Have you seen something like this?
I have seen the thermocline. So you can see the thermocline normally when you're diving somewhere, and it does look, depending on the salinity of the water, it does look something like that. You can't really see under it. However, that is really special because that's in a channel, and so it's isolated, and basically, similar to a normal river, you can't see through it. And that's what's really interesting about this. You can see there's plants growing out of it and on the banks, so it looks like a normal riverbank, which is.
And there's trees and branches.
No,
and
trees.
Stuff.
They are trees and leaves. You can see there's not coral, but it's
they're just like underwater
vegetation.
trees.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa!
Look at this. This is fantastic. All right, here we go. Let me zoom in on a picture. There is a man sat with a fishing rod. So
he's pretending to fish underwater
exactly into the river.
That's incredible.
Isn't that amazing?
This is one of the coolest things that I've ever seen that I've never seen before.
There you go. I'm glad because that I saw this and I was like, I've never seen that before.
Zoom in that one on the right.
This one.
That one, yeah.
That's as far
it looks like he's swimming in the.
Exactly. So the guy, there's a diver in the water, and he's sat his whole body up to his shoulders below the thermocline, so into the river, as with inverted commas, and his head is stuck out, and you cannot see his body.
This is rad.
He's in the water despite being 30 meters underwater. Isn't that mind-blowing?
Yes.
I'm glad. It's made me so happy that you like that.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if you'd enjoy this, but this is...
absolutely do. This is my favorite story of the day.
Look at that one. This one's perfectly clear. Look at that. Oh, God.
It's what we're looking at. If you are enjoying this podcast in its audio format, do yourself a favor and pick up the highlights of this one. It'll be on Simon Whistler Show Highlights on YouTube. I don't know, how do underwater rivers work?
I imagine so. And
amazing.
I mean, Yucatan is pretty much the center of incredible diving for this sort of thing. Like they always say, like there's Belize has the big blue hole, the deep blue hole.
Oh yeah.
But there's nothing in the deep blue hole is the problem.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of dead people at the bottom.
Oh.
No, sadly it's the home of a lot of injuries and people like free divers that go down too deep
Oh my God.
because it just goes down and
How
down
deep
and
is
down
it?
and down.
It's radically deep, right?
It's very deep. I wouldn't be able to give you a number, but it's deep enough for all. So around 40 meters, all light begins to disappear. You don't get any light under 40, 50 meters. And then it gets, I think it's 170 meters deep. I want to say something like that. I
What
might be
happens then?
completely wrong. Well, narcosis sets in. So people that basically sports divers, like, so not recreational divers, sports divers, people that do the mix of gases and things like that, they can typically dive down to, not typically, it's quite an extensive training period. That's when diving becomes an extreme sport. They can go down to like 120 meters, that's radically deep. That's really deep. And they have to set up multiple levels where they'll sit with
I've heard about
tanks.
this. Yeah,
and
so
they basically just have to sit and decompress on pure oxygen to pump out as much nitrogen as they can so that they don't get the bends when they come up, because you fully, like, you fill your blood with nitrogen, and if you come up too quickly, it'll turn into the bends and terrible pain, you die. But Yucatan has the underwater caves, the hundreds of miles of caves, and then they've got these rivers.
the Great Big Hole is 124 meters or 407 feet deep.
I wasn't too far off.
No, pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
Should we do another story?
Yeah.
Or is there more to add on this,
There's no
this
more to add,
incredible
just
story?
Go and dive this. This looks incredible. I'm desperate to go here now and visit this spot.